Well, hello and welcome to On Cloud 9, episode 9.
9.
On Cloud 9, episode 9. Wow, I could have been a rapper. Anyways, I'm Chris,
I'm Carolyn.
and today we're talking about
We're having a baby.
Carolyn's having a baby.
I'm pregnant. But yes, we're going to be parents.
Yes, which we knew before we started this podcast 9
We-
episodes ago.
Yeah, you're right. We did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but we had to tell everybody first.
that's true. We had to wait quite a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my
anyways, we actually had one of our connection cards on episode 5, I think it was.
Mhm.
Was like, well, when was the last time you were nervous or something like that? So we actually had to skip it because we did promise to answer them all, but that one was related to being pregnant, so we
Yes.
couldn't really answer it on here
Yeah.
before we told our family. We felt like our family may be a little bit upset with us if this is how they found out.
Yeah. I don't think I would have been happy if this is how they found out anyway. But yeah, we did record our answers, but then we cropped it out and then recorded the answers that we wanted to tell you guys that didn't involve pregnancy and becoming parents. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll have to show those clips at some point. But
Yeah, those are fun. Maybe I'll throw one in here if I got to see if I can find them. I had to delete some stuff because
Yeah.
we didn't have enough space
yeah,
on our computer. But yeah, how do you feel
Yeah.
about this whole dealio?
I'm still a little nervous. I'm very excited now. Like it's set in now that we've had a couple doctor's appointments and we've seen the baby. We've heard the baby's heartbeat a few times, and I'm starting to feel better. But yeah, I'm very excited, but just still nervous. I think just because there's a lot of unexpected, and you just kind of have to go with the flow. And I'm very much like a planner, and I want to know all the details so I can figure out the best course of action, and that you can't do that when you're pregnant. So, yeah, I'm doing okay.
What are you most nervous about?
Physically delivering the baby,
Like the actual birth?
the actual birth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think just because I know it's going to be painful. There's going to be a lot of, you can't go through a birth without any pain unless, yeah. So I think that's the part that I'm the most nervous about.
Okay. I think that's a fair one. Yeah. Not me. I'm not worried about giving birth to it. I'm most nervous about like raising
Yeah.
a child
Yeah.
and just like instilling good values into them and like making sure they become a good person and not just
Yeah.
a failure to society.
Yeah. It's one thing to bring the baby into the world, to create the baby and bring it into the world, but it's another thing to actually raise it up to be a decent human.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be a learning process for sure, but I think it'll be good.
Yeah. So anyways, we're pretty excited / nervous
Mhm.
to become parents. It wasn't exactly our plan to have kids this quickly.
Correct.
But we were also aware of the repercussions of our actions.
Yeah. We always knew that there was a chance I could get pregnant, and our plan was to start trying like the end of this year or beginning of next year. So it would give us at least a year of being married before we brought kids into the world. And now we're going to be married for 13 months and our baby will be born. So we'll have just over a year. So yeah, it was definitely one of those situations where we were shocked because we weren't expecting to get pregnant so soon. But also I think we've both been through enough, and the Lord has kind of guided us through the last several years individually before we met each other and our relationship. And it was been through enough to know not to question his timing, because his timing is always better than our own. But it was still very much like a hard reality to grasp of like, oh my gosh, this is happening.
Yeah.
And it's happening very soon.
Yeah. We had like I guess you would call it a scare, like a couple months prior to you
Mhm.
actually getting pregnant. Maybe we should have taken notes on that.
Yeah.
So we had like a pregnancy scare and you took a test and it was
Negative.
negative. So when you took this one again, I was like more nervous when you took that first one than when you took this one again, because I just figured, oh, it's just like your cycle's off a couple days or something.
Yeah, I was too.
And then I heard a gasp from the bathroom.
Yeah. We'll have to share the video and post it so people can see. It was definitely a shock. Yeah, I mean, we went from I went from having a cycle that was like clockwork to we'll just see what happens, because it was so very irregular. And so I truthfully just thought I was a couple weeks late. And everybody listening is going to be like, oh my gosh, how did you not know? Like, truthfully, I didn't know. Like, my cycle got off by so much. I really didn't know when it was supposed to happen at that point. And so when I took a test at the beginning of July and it was negative, and that was right when I thought I should have actually been pregnant. And so to take a test 2.5 weeks later and it be positive, I was very confused. So yeah, now that we have a due date, I was able to kind of figure things out, and it all makes sense now. But yeah, that was very, very shocking. I did gasp, and then I just looked at Chris and I was like, just wide-eyed. And then I said, the first thing out of my mouth was, I'm shaking, because my hands just started trembling. And then I was like, I am not ready. I don't think I'll ever be ready, but I don't think you're ever ready for something like this, but
I think even if you're like planning to have a kid, like you're not ready until you actually have one. That's what I would guess. I mean, like I'm certainly not ready. And I keep saying this, like, to trust God's plan. And everyone always says it, like, oh, God has a plan. I'm like, well, I'm putting my faith in the fact that he does, because like we certainly don't. So
yeah, that's very true. And I mean, truthfully, I had enough health issues growing up, and a lot of like hormone imbalance issues and endometriosis problems. I had a couple like PCOS misdiagnosis for any women that are listening that know who or what that is. But there was a lot of things contributing to my hormones over the last decade plus of life. And I truthfully, in my gut, I didn't expect us to be able to get pregnant on our own. I truthfully thought it was going to be a process. And so I'm very grateful that we got pregnant in the manner that we did. But yeah, I was not expecting, I think part of like the initial shock of like, oh, we did this on our own. I really didn't think that we were going to be able to. So I'm very grateful for that. But I know there's also a lot of people that try for a very long time and they do need extra help. And, I think what it really boils down to is the Lord's plan overall, but also our waiting season, I feel like, was different than other people's, because everybody's is different. It's not the same. So we just had our waiting season before we got married instead of after.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I never know what to say in these situations, because we're just like along for this ride.
Yeah.
But yeah, it almost like, I hope this doesn't come out wrong, but I almost feel like guilty sometimes, because there is those people who try forever, and they like have serious trouble having a baby. And then we're just like, we did it on accident, So part of me feels guilty for that. But at the same time, like, it is what it is. It's just part of our story. So we're just rolling with it,
Yeah. I think that was the part for me where I had a moment and the Lord just very sweetly reminded me that I went through my waiting season. And so our blessing with parenthood and having kids is just, it looks differently than other people's. And I mean, that was my parents. My mom had a very hard time getting pregnant with my sister and I, and we're both miracle babies. And so I was very aware of that fact. And I think that's also part of the reason why I was expecting it to not be easy to get pregnant. And thankfully my sister didn't have a hard time either. But yeah, there was a very big part of me when we first found out that was also like almost uncomfortable telling some of our friends in our circle, because we have people in our immediate circle and then we have people in our extended circle that we're friends with and family, and they're in a situation where they've been married for a while and now they are in a waiting season for kids, and it's not easy. And yeah, I felt guilty almost and a little unsure of how excited we could be to tell them, because we were going to share part of that story of like us accidentally getting pregnant. Like
Yeah.
we weren't preventing getting pregnant. We were diligent about like tracking everything, but yeah, we weren't intentionally trying to get pregnant this soon. And so part of me was a little bit nervous and kind of scared to tell some of our people, just because I wanted to be very conscious of their process and their journey. And
Yeah. And I mean, it's not to say that obviously like our friends are excited for us. We know that.
Yeah.
But we also are well aware of the fact that like the emotions that us telling them could stir up in them. And not that that's like resentment or anything like that, but I mean, it is hard.
Yeah.
It's just like when you see, you know, one of your friends like get that promotion or whatever, and you're like, oh, like I'm super happy for you, but it reminded me that I didn't get it yet. So
I think that's what my like period of singleness really taught me. Is, you know, for a long time I saw my friends start a new relationship, or they were getting engaged, or they're getting married, and it's like, oh my gosh, like that is all I want. Like, why I have to wait so long for this, and I have to go through all of this heartbreak because I'm watching all of my friends get what I want the most. And it's like, you're in a waiting season. Like, you're being pruned for your season of blooming, and it just wasn't time yet. But that season truly taught me, like, you can still be so excited and be so celebratory for your friends and still be yearning for that for yourself. And that's okay. It's okay to be in that in-between spot. But yeah, I'm very thankful that our friends are very excited and supportive, and we know that they're going to love on this baby just as well, not as much as we do, but but quite a bit. So yeah, I'm very excited.
yeah.
Aside from raising this child to be a decent human being and not a pain to society, is there anything else that you're nervous about?
Money.
Yeah.
I think that's just the guy in me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're like, oh, now it's just another financial responsibility. So I'm not like ultra worried about it in the beginning, but I'm like, man, I hope the kid starts a business and doesn't want to go to college.
Yeah.
No, yeah, just, I mean, I guess it's kind of a question mark for me. And I haven't really looked into it, but like I have no idea how much it costs to raise a kid.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you can like go online and figure it out. But it's not like when you move and you have your new rent check, you know exactly what that's going to be. It's just like, oh, I guess we'll just wing it and see what happens.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I'm a little bit nervous about, but we're also like in a good position financially to like not have it be an ultra burden, because we've been diligent about our finances since the day we got married and before. So I'm not like ultra worried about it, but it's constantly in the back of my mind.
It's still a big unknown for
Yeah.
sure. It's an open-ended line item of like, okay, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Well, we just have a lot going on in our like personal finance life anyways right now. We're
Yeah.
looking to sell the house and move, get another place. We're looking to get like a new car now, like a bigger car, and now baby. So just like a lot of finance moves all at once.
Yeah. And finish with our debt-free journey also. That's still a big priority for us, but you just have to, we'd had to make some changes and shift things around a little bit for the time being. And I'm still confident we're going to get there
Oh, I'm not
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not worried
I mean,
about
we'll
that.
get
but
there. It's just like the timing's going to be a little bit different.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I'm just changing the plan a little bit.
Yeah.
That's okay. It happens.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say definitely number one is raising it to be not a little turd.
Yeah. For sure.
What else? What's been like the most surprising for you? Has anything like being pregnant
I
Day to
hate
day.
food.
That surprises you?
Yeah. I've never been the kind of person to turn down food. I love food. I enjoy eating. I enjoy cooking. But truly, I have been so shocked by the fact that most food looks so repulsive. And I'm hungry all the time. Like I've lost 10 pounds since I got pregnant because one, the nausea has been uncontrollable some days, but also I look at food and I'm so hungry until the second I'm about to put that food in my mouth. And then all of a sudden it's like, the smell is off or it just looks repulsive. Even though it could be like a phenomenal meal that we've just cooked, I don't want anything to do with it. Or I'll get 4 bites in and I'm like, I can't eat anymore. So that's been a shock. And I think the exhaustion, I was not expecting that. Going through 4 years of playing a college sport, you get to a level of fatigue that you wish you had never known, just because of our schedule and what you're constantly putting your body through, but nothing compares to the fatigue I have felt for the last few months, truthfully. I did not expect to be this tired all the time.
Yeah, I feel like that's what surprised me the most is how tired you are. I feel like it's been getting better the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
But at first, yeah, you were like sleeping constantly.
Lethargic, pretty much. Like I would come home from work and I would need to take a nap before I got any other work done. Or I would get halfway through household chores and I would have to go lay down because I would just get so tired. Like I couldn't function. That was hard for me to process of like, we have things that need to get done, but I physically cannot move my body. Like my body is so tired. So that was very, I guess, hard to get used to because part of me felt guilty for being so tired, even though I couldn't control it. And then I felt like I was lazy because things weren't getting done that I needed to get done. So yeah, I think that for sure. And mentally, there are so many more hormones pumping through my body now that I still don't mentally feel like myself. And I think that's been a little bit hard to get used to. Just paired with the nausea, I guess, or not the nausea, the fatigue. Like I really don't feel like myself. So that's been a little bit hard to get used to of like, I'm being unproductive. Yet I'm also like metabolically running a marathon every day trying to grow this human. So that's been a little bit hard because for a while I felt like I was so tired and I wasn't doing anything that much around the house that I like felt guilty that I was letting you down, which I know we've talked about a few times where you're like, you're not, but that's just mentally how I felt because I didn't feel like myself. So
yeah.
Yeah,
it's weird like from my perspective because like nothing changes. You're pregnant and even in the first few months like your body doesn't change on the exterior.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously there's a lot going on inside. I'm not like
right.
Ignorant to that, but like my day to day is the same. And so I think that's the strangest part. And maybe it'll be more different as we get towards like birth month, but I'm less nervous than I expected to be.
That's good.
But I also think it's because it's kind of like so far away still that you can just be like negligent to it.
Yeah.
For the time being. So yeah, I would have thought I would have been more nervous. But I think it's coming.
Yeah.
I have so much else going on right now, like at work and like I said, getting ready to move and deciding where we want to move. So there's a lot of other things to distract myself with. So I don't like think about it all that much.
Yeah. I think too, because I physically don't have a bump to show that I'm pregnant. Like normally towards the end of the day, it just looks like I ate way too much dinner. Like I'm just kind of bloated. And then by the morning, it's like, oh, you look like you did 4 months ago. Like 3 months ago, nothing's changed. And so I think once I actually like physically start to show, that's probably when it's going to like set in a little bit more for me of like, oh yeah, we're doing this. Like it's happening. And also too, I think once we get to our 20-week scan and we know what we're having, I think that's when it's really going to start setting in of like, okay, we're having a son or we're having a daughter.
Yeah. That'll probably make it feel more real when we can actually like pick out a name. I think I'm looking forward to that the most.
Yeah.
Picking out a name.
Me too. I'm excited.
I'm going to call it something cool like Megatron.
No.
Bumblebee.
Are we just going to start naming our kids after the Transformers?
Maybe.
No.
I was in the shower, like just thinking of random names. And what's funny is we both kind of think it's going to be a girl. And everyone keeps saying that. I don't remember anyone saying that they think it's going to be a boy so far.
Yeah.
But for that reason, I'm kind of going the other way now. I'm like, oh, I think it will be a boy.
Yeah.
But all I really think of is boy names, even though I think it's going to be a girl, which is funny. Anyways, I don't know why Walker popped in my head, and I wouldn't want to name my kid Walker. Sorry if that's your name or you named your kid that, but I wouldn't want to name my kid that, but it did pop in my head. I think because I don't know why. I don't know why I popped in. Anyways, I was thinking if you named your firstborn Walker, then you could name your second kid Jogger and your third kid Runner.
Oh my gosh. Here we go, guys. Another Chris original. We've missed out on the last couple episodes. Walker, Jogger, and Runner.
Yeah. Not Walker, Texas Ranger. Walker, Jogger, Runner. Sprinter.
I mean, you could do Walker and then name one kid Tex. And then one kid, Ranger could be. We're in the South, so you never know what names people are going to come up with around here. We're not going to
name our kid Tex.
No.
Or Walker. Or Ranger.
No.
No. That's
Walker,
not my...
Okay, but it's better than Walker, Jogger, and Runner.
Well, it wasn't like that I was going to name it that, but it just, I don't know why it popped in my head.
Could you imagine if somebody actually did that, though?
Yeah.
The worst part would be if their kids grew up to absolutely hate running of any kind. Their name was Jogger.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, welcome to our secret that we've been sharing keeping from you. Secret we've been sharing. We have been sharing it, but we've been keeping it from everybody for quite a while. I think we found out like the week that we started like test running our podcast.
Like we definitely found out before the first time we recorded. So we recorded like a fake episode that didn't ever get posted because it was just like testing out our audio and stuff. And you talked about it on that.
Yeah.
So we definitely knew long before this podcast like went live.
Yeah. That was the first thing I said when I sat down. I was like, nobody knows this yet, but I'm pregnant. And yeah, I should have saved that. Had you saved that video clip just at the beginning? You do?
Yeah, I saved it.
Yeah.
The walls were blue in here.
They were. It was before we painted. But yeah, there's been most of the episodes that we've recorded already have quite literally taken every ounce of energy that I had in me.
Well, you're talking to me for like an hour too.
Well,
so
that's normal
that's
though.
Brutal.
No, it's not. That's normal though. But it truly did. And there were, what was it? It was the traveling episode that we did. We're talking about like going through airports and all that stuff. Like when we want like to get that whole episode, guys, I was about to just lose my lunch that entire episode. Like I had Sprite on the floor behind my chair the whole time. Like the second we got done, I got up and went to lay down. I was like, I cannot do it. So yeah, I'm excited that hopefully the rest of this year when we record podcast episodes, I'm not going to feel like just disgusting and nauseous and all that good stuff. So you guys might get a little bit more energy out of me for the next episode. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I'll have to do a little bit less editing because we've been having to like edit out things like the dogs in the background going crazy like they are right now.
Yep.
Hey. We'll leave that one in for you guys, but normally that happens like 6 times an episode.
There's been a couple times where they've come in and knocked the light stand over, or they've moved it to where like the shadows on the wall just like completely shifted, or a microphone got bumped or
It's a good time.
yeah, it's a good time.
But my editing point was we like talk about you being pregnant. And we're like, oh, we got to cut that out. Can't tell them about that.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of editing, there's no Max behind me.
No tree.
Max,
no majestic
the majestic palm is, he needed some sunlight. So we put him out back for the time being.
And then the wind blew him over and his trunk broke a little bit. So we got to bandage him up a little bit
Max
and see if we can
is
bring him back to life.
He's in rehab.
Yes.
He's on the IL,
Yes.
not the DL. DL sounds so much better than IL.
I agree.
Thanks, MLB. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Carolyn's pregnant. We have no more secrets that we're keeping from you anymore.
Correct.
Just that one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, hopefully, I feel like I could be more like myself now on here.
Yeah.
Not that I don't act myself. I vow to you and you and you and you and you and you. I vow to be nothing but honest from here forward. Unless we're keeping a secret from you like pregnancy.
Yeah. That just becomes a necessity at that point, but yeah.
Yeah. So, any whoosies.
Any
Yeah.
whoosies.
Anything to add
I don't think so.
before we get out of here? But anyways, let's do a question. It's your turn.
My turn.
Connection card. Since we didn't get any
Connection
questions on our last episode to do. So we got to use these ones. Send us a question that you want us to ask. If you're listening,
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
send us a question that you want us to ask. If you're the first one, we'll ask your question on our next episode, episode 10.
Yeah.
But we didn't
Episode
get any on the last one, so we'll do one of these.
Yeah. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
What was your first impression of me?
You had a great smile.
Thank you. I thought the same thing about you, actually. And actually, I thought you smelled very nice.
Well,
You didn't have one of those like colognes that's like, oh, I just walked into like a men's suit store. Suit store. Oh my God. Suit department.
Stoot.
Yeah, you get what I mean.
When you're like walking past Abercrombie
Yes. Oh.
in the mall.
Yeah. Or Hollister for that matter. Yeah. I thought you smelled very nice, but I thought you had a very nice smile.
Thank you. It's Aqua de Jo.
What's the one you got for our wedding?
Dolce & Gabbana, the one.
Yeah. I like that one.
I like that one too. It's a lot more subtle. The other one's a little louder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The one is more of like a date night scent.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
I think of our wedding every time you wear it.
That was the idea.
Yep.
Usually when she's mad at me, I put it on. No, I'm just kidding. That's why there's so much of it left. Yeah. I'm not a big cologne person, but I have like the ones that I have are like really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because, well, they're expensive. Not that now I feel like I'm like talking about money. I can't stand when people are like, I bought this thing. It was so expensive.
You saved up for it for our wedding, though. You
But-
weren't just going to go get some cheap grandpa
Yeah,
smelling
I'm like the
cologne
cheap
for our
colognes
wedding.
are not good. So when I buy them, I make sure they're like quality.
Yeah.
And then they last. That one that I wore on our first date, I've had for like 3-4 years now.
Yeah, so you get your money's worth
So
out
it's
of it.
not like, yeah, so you spend a good amount of money on it, but it lasts a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like a fan of smelling good, but not like I don't wear cologne every day.
Right.
I'm not going to I work at home. What do I need
That's true.
the dogs to smell me all day long?
They do that anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I was also very impressed with how clean the inside of your car was. But now that I'm married to you and I know you, I just know that that's how you are. You like a clean car.
Well, my car's just clean. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
nothing in my car ever. Actually, there's a quarter zip in my back seat right now. It's been eating away at me all day.
Yeah.
I need to grab it.
But-
What's your car look like right now?
There's my Stanley cup is in the cup holder. I left it in there so I wouldn't forget my water when we go grocery shopping. And there's a jacket on the back seat full of a lot of dog hair that the vacuum would not pick up. And there's only one box in the trunk. There's not like a million things rolling around, but I mean, I would consider my car dirty because there's dog hair everywhere and it drives me nuts and it's kind of dusty. So definitely not as clean as your car. But also not as dirty as my car has been in the past.
That's true. You've come a long way.
I have.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
All right. So yours is, what was yours? My smile and I smell good?
You smelled very nice and I was impressed with how clean your car was.
Yeah.
So-
on our first date, did we tell our story on here? Yeah, we did on the
Briefly.
first episode. So it went down in the DMs and we met in a Costco parking lot, like an hour away from where you live.
Yes.
And you got in the car with a stranger
Yes.
to go to a hotel.
Not like that, though. Not like that. Yeah. But yes.
What do you mean not like that? That's exactly what happened.
I mean, we did go to a hotel, but not in the sense that most people would think, oh, they went to a hotel.
No.
We went to the Gaylord Texan and did all of the Christmas activities there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought it'd be funny. I didn't say motel.
I mean, at least if you took me to a hotel, it was a bougie one. So, yeah. But yes.
Yep.
Surely.
So,
yeah.
I was just going to say that was a bold strategy on your part.
It was.
You're like, I'm just going to you just got in the car with a random stranger. And
I
that was it.
Normally would never.
If I was like a bad person, that would have been it for you.
Correct. But I also think that I prayed enough before our first date. And I'm very confident of the discernment that the Lord has given me about other situations. I feel like I would have had a weird feeling one way or the other if I wasn't supposed to get in your car and drive there. Like if I needed to be just meeting you there because I needed a way out if something went wrong, I feel like I would have had a feeling. But yeah, I mean, enough people had my location also that they could have seen where I was.
That's true.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a bold move. Now that I think about it, I'm like, that's like everything I wouldn't normally do.
Yeah.
But
if
for
we have
whatever
a daughter,
reason,
I will definitely be suggesting against that.
Yeah.
But I mean, you knew my mom, I guess.
That's true. I did meet his mom before I met him. But still, just because I met your mom doesn't mean that you could be a credible person.
That's true. That's very true too. I could still be a weirdo.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anyways, we're rambling, so we'll get out of your ears.
But yeah, thanks for letting us share our exciting news about baby Clow and the On Cloud 9 crew growing a little bit. We're very excited and we'll keep you guys updated as much as you want to be about how things are going. And
I'm going to call it our little raindrop since we're on Cloud 9.
That's good. I like it.
Yes.
So anyway, thanks for letting us share our news with you. And we're very excited and a little shocked still, but we cannot wait.
Yep. So episode 9, the one where Carolyn's pregnant.
Yes.
And we'll see you next week for episode 10. We got to do
Episode
something
10.
big for episode 10.
Yeah.
Send us a question if you're listening.
Yeah. DM us, post a comment, send us a question. We'll answer any questions that you guys want to know.
Yes. We'll do fan questions for episode 10 along with our regular topic.
Yes.
Whatever that is.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you. So, anyways, thanks for listening.
We'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.